CDD, or for that matter, any other department. Our position is that to have real neighborhood empowerment, neighborhood councils should stand alone, be independent, and allow people to govern themselves. And it's in this context that we are proposing our plan today, and we do have copies here for everyone. And our plan is the creation of regional neighborhood council boards. And we propose that there will be 7 regional neighborhood council boards to correspond with the 7 planning areas of the city. And these boards would oversee the day-to-day management of neighborhood councils to resolve problems and to help make councils more effective. These 7 people in the region would be selected in their areas, and they would be either current or former neighborhood council board members, but they have to have demonstrated a minimum of 2 years of leadership and knowledge by either having been an officer in a neighborhood council or a committee chair. Now I wanted to discuss with you, that's the composition, and Judith Daniels will discuss the responsibilities of these boards. The precedents for this, for having these regional boards, did not come out of thin air. The first is the creation of the Valley Alliance of Neighborhood Councils. 7 years ago, when I proposed this idea to get neighborhood councils together, to work together, to share information, people said to me, "You'll never do it. It's impossible. You will never get all these neighborhood councils together in one room and they'll never agree on anything." Well, I did it anyway. We have not missed a month in 7 years. We have been, thank you. We have been getting together, and you know, it's an informal group, and we share information, best practices. We're an independent group. We're not confined by the Brown Act. And the people who come to us, we've had every elected official. We've had candidates who have run for office, or citywide office, come to us. We've had department heads. People feel comfortable because we don't allow any recordings. It's just meeting with us in an informal way. And we also have had seminars and forums. Our planning forums, we have standing room only. We're having another one November 11th at CBS Studios in Studio City. So actually, the neighborhood councils, the regionalization, it works because it worked with the Valley Alliance and neighborhood councils. This is now, today, 7 years later, not a new idea. And also, we now have the Northeast group that's meeting, NEAC, and we also have Hank and the Harbor. So regional alliances are getting together, and it works. The other precedent is the 7 area planning commissions, and Lydia Mather is going to speak to that, and how we picked from that as well. Now, I want to tell you this is important. The Valley Alliance is going to stay intact because the Valley Alliance of Neighborhood Councils, or any regional alliance, is not meant to be a governing board. There is a need for the regional alliances for what they do, and there's a need for these governing boards as well, and they can work together to make the system better. And I want you to know that that's where it came from. It wasn't an accident. We know that regional government works, and that's what we're proposing now. And the next speaker from the Valley Alliance of Neighborhood Councils is Judith Daniels, and she's going to talk to you about the responsibilities.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming and being involved. Judith Daniels, I'm on my 5th year as president of the Chatsworth Neighborhood Council, the home of equestrians who are part of our council only because they board horses We have that written into our definition of stakeholder because we are unique, and we think that's important. So to get back to our plan that Jill started talking about, we're suggesting 7 regional boards that are based on planning commissions. She talked a little bit about the composition. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the responsibilities. This is not meant to be the only responsibilities, but these are some of the top responsibilities. We want the regional boards to be the go-to place for guidance. We want to offer mentoring from how to get more citizen participation, outreach, basic planning and land use, leadership and group dynamics. Group dynamics is what I refer to as what neighborhood councils really need to work better is group therapy. And then other topics as they are needed or as councils decide that they need to have help with. It would also be a place to go for grievances and mediation. We want to provide liaison and maintain, when I say we, I mean the regional boards, not vague. But the boards would provide liaison and maintain accountability between the neighborhood councils and the various city departments, which gets back to what the charter says we were supposed to be doing, which is to advise the city department heads about what's going on out there and what the citizens need. We also want to have the regional boards involved in the early notification system, and that would be based, I mean, there's already been some discussion about that, but that would be based a lot on what the planning department offers already in their emails about what projects are being planned. I want to emphasize, first and foremost, that these regional boards are not meant to tell anybody how to conduct their business. One of the basic tenets of our plan is to respect the individuality of each neighborhood council. We recognize and respect the fact that a well-run and effective neighborhood council does not need to have a hall monitor standing there looking over your shoulder. But we also recognize that there are councils that are not well-run and councils that are new, that are still finding their way, that need help. The idea of the regional boards is that they are going to intervene or get involved only when requested. They're going to be available for any neighborhood council that needs them when there's a request for this. The regional boards are not meant to dictate day-to-day activities or operations. They will not be punitive. The boards are meant to offer positive solutions to real problems. They can assist the neighborhood councils with educating and informing board members about a variety of topics that are needed to produce more effective boards. I don't want you to tell me how to run my council, but I don't want to tell you how to run your council. But if somebody wants to come and ask me for my advice or my guidance, I will be there in a split second. I helped to run the first election that was held by Northridge South. A couple of days ago, Dunn came to me and asked me, because of my involvement as just a volunteer with Northridge South, they asked me if I would help to run the first North Hills East election. That's what it's about. People who know what the system is, helping each other and trying to make the entire system better. Lastly, the support staff, each one of these 7 planning boards, we intend to have 2 done staff, which would be a total of 14 staff members. And we also believe that each regional board should have 1 CPA who would deal with the finances of that region. We are not offering a comprehensive funding plan. Funding will be discussed in just a moment. We're not offering a comprehensive funding plan because other people have come up with plans that make more sense than us trying to put our fingers in it. Our next speaker is Barbra Monaghan Burke, who's going to talk about a couple of charter issues.
Good afternoon. By law, the LA City Charter established the neighborhood council system more than 10 years ago. We are the citywide participatory democratic advisory base of our government, truly the base. And this is how our communities are to have a legitimate advisory voice on issues of concern to residents, those residents, homeowners, renters, and other ways of dwelling, as well as business people. This proposed neighborhood council system structuring, including the 7 regional areas and still a GM, complies with the charter completely. No amendments to the charter will have to be made. This proposed system will strengthen the NC system locally and citywide and make it both more efficient and effective. It will help us utilize our charter rights as independent neighborhood councils. It's really important to stay totally independent. Keeping our special funds, making government more responsive to our local needs, facilitating neighborhood communication with constituents, stakeholders, other neighborhood councils, and government officials. All these are within the charter. Establishes regs and powers set forth in the charter are binding on all city departments and officials, and establishes a system for neighborhood council prior to decision by, specifically, named the mayor and the city council on the budget, city council itself, city council committees, boards, commissions, and officials of city departments. We are to have input before they make decisions, and this is mandatory within the charter. We valiantly work on government accountability for our legitimate NC charges within the charter. This system we're proposing would help all the NCs understand how to get that accountability. Again, our proposed 7-region structuring of the neighborhood council system fully complies with the charter. No amendments would be necessary. That's really important. Thank you very much.